Hey guys, Phil Harris here. In this video, I'm going to run you through my first 10 minutes on the CDJ-3000X. Now, just spoiler alert, I'm massively underwhelmed and not very impressed at all, and I'm going to run you through exactly why. But in this video, I'm going to tell you what I like about it, what I don't like about it, and just my general very first thoughts on this thing. And I'm just going to show you some stuff as well. So just so you know, this is not going to be a massive feature video. We've all seen those feature videos. We kind of know what this thing can do. So I'm going to try not to dwell too much on that and just kind of give you my first thoughts. So here it is. I haven't turned it on yet, and I haven't turned it on yet for a reason. Couple of stuff. The first thing about it is it looks gorgeous. The screen on it is just quality. It's massive, it's big, it's bright, it's high quality. I can't really explain. It's like it's almost higher pixels than this screen here. It's also glass, whereas this is plastic. This feels cheap, this screen. This feels expensive. It looks nice. That right there is the single best thing about these CDJ decks. It looks great, okay? I'm also, secondary spoiler alert, if you are thinking about getting some CDJs for the very first time and you don't already own any, then I would go for this, because it does ultimately have more features and it is ultimately nicer to look at. So I wouldn't go for the 3000 over the 3000X, but I certainly would not upgrade from the 3000 to the 3000X. So let's check it out. First thing, when you look at this for the first time, it's just big. It looks big and it looks quality. The color is interesting. It's not really not going to pick this up in the video, but it's got a slightly bluey black color compared to just the straight black color of the CDJ-3000s. And it's got a nice matte feeling. This one here, almost like, I can't really explain it, but it's like, it's metal, and you can almost like see lines on the main body of it, which again, the video's not going to pick up. Whereas this is just a flat matte, so it just kind of looks cleaner. Next thing you'll notice is there's no lines here, which is weird. I don't know why. It's kind of unnerving. The lines don't do anything. They never really gave you much information anyway, but it's just strange not having them there. I don't know why. The next thing is, and by the way, this is the same on both DJ decks. I wish these had like a little clicker in the middle so you knew when you're in the middle like it does on entry-level DJ decks. Otherwise, you're just kind of left trying to balance it or looking at the screen to like make sure you got that, BPM properly. I like it to just go clunk, and then I'm like, there, that's the middle. For some reason, neither of these decks has it. It's just a little gripe of mine. But looking at it, those are my initial thoughts. Looks gorgeous, slightly bluer color, matte, no lines. That's it. Now, let's turn it on because I want you to see this. I think it's quite slow. So let's plug it on, turn it on. See what I mean? It's slow. Most boring YouTube video ever. We're all just waiting for the DJ deck to turn on. Okay, so there it is, no device. Well, there is a device. We've got that plugged in, so let's wait for it to pick up the fact there's a USB stuck in it. There you go. Really slow. Okay, and then let's click into this. Waiting. £3,000. We're just waiting. Okay, there we go. And the first thing you see, ABBA. That means I'm a great DJ. Okay, cool. So here we go. As you can see, it's just waiting. It's slow. It's clunky. It's just annoying, right? That was my very first thought. By the way, another thing which I wanted to point out, the jog wheel feels considerably stiffer on this DJ deck than the 3000, right? It's just firmer. It doesn't spin as much as this one here. It's just something else I noticed, but who cares? When you ever going to need those extra 3 seconds of spin back? You're just not really. In fact, there's something about the stiffness of it I actually quite like. So anyway, first feature, which is the one everyone's talking about, is a gated hot cue. In other words, when you hold down the hot cue and then release, it will only play for the time that your finger is pressed down. Whereas on the CDJ-3000, it just plays straight away, which has always been a bit of an annoying feature. If you've come from entry-level DJ decks where hot cues are just there and you come onto these, it's really annoying that you can't set it to gate mode. I never understood why they wouldn't just do that. By the way, another just conclusion to all this, all the core features of this, I don't know why they don't just add as a software update for the 3000s. They could easily do that. Like the gated hot cubes. It's so easy for them to just allow gated hot cues over here. I don't know why they don't do that. Well, I do know why they do it, because I want everybody to go and buy this. Anyway, so now that is a relatively cool feature. It means you can kind of do performance-based stuff, but personally, I'm not really a performance-based DJ. I mean, obviously I'm doing a performance. What I mean is I'm not slamming hot cues when I'm performing. I'm just playing good songs and blending nicely and using a couple of effects. Like, if I'm honest, I like to keep things basic. And when I say basic, I'm reading the room and I'm playing music people like listening to. Like every good DJ out there. I'm not sitting there chopping up tracks on the spot. It's not my style. It's not my vibe. I don't particularly enjoy doing it. So it's a feature that's there, and it's like, it's cool, but never really going to use it. Now, the other interesting thing is, whenever you get to a new hot cue, the cue button will now go from that hot cue, which is another... okay, you know, you just use memory points here and just go back and set the hot cue the same way there, the cue point that way. Again, underwhelmed by that. Really not impressed with it. A couple of other relatively interesting features, like if you're one of these arsehole DJs and you don't want people to see what song you're playing, you can just hit the thing there and it hides the title of the track. Well, I'm sorry, if you're doing that, you're just a twat. Like, who cares? Like, if somebody's come to see what song you're playing, just let them see, for God's sakes. So that's the next thought on it. Like, what a boring feature. Now, the other feature that I thought was actually quite good is you can come in here, you can reorder songs on the fly. Now, I know a lot of DJs are going to say, oh, who cares? Why do you need to reorder songs when you're DJing live? You can just tag them and all this kind of stuff. Well, I tell you why I like it. Because whenever I'm preparing for a DJ set, I'll often come onto my decks and have a bit of a spin. I'm not saying I pre-prepare my DJ sets. I just have a good idea of what songs I'm going to play. And the night before, I often like just jumping on these decks and having a bit of a play around. And there's lots of times where I go, actually, that song works really well after that song. And at the moment, I have to just go, remember that, Phil. Take the USB out, walk over to the computer, plug it in, reorder, re-upload onto the USB, walk back, right? And it's just a pain in the ass. And that's just what I do, right? Now, this really appealed to me because I was like, great, I can just hit edit and reorder it. But it's insanely glitchy. Like, watch this, okay? Click that one there, drag down, drop. Nothing happens. Okay, so you think, well, you didn't leave it long enough before you dropped it. Okay, so let's do that. Click, click, press, let's see, so slow, drag it down, 1, 2, drop. Didn't even drop it in the right place. It dropped it 3 up. You saw me. I literally dropped it to the bottom and it dropped it 3 up. Now, I could go on, but that's how insanely glitchy this is. £3,000. And I can't even reorder songs properly. It's annoying, guys. It's really annoying. So let's turn that off now. Preview, you can preview tracks on that. That's nothing new. So pretty underwhelming stuff. Now, the final feature of these CJ decks is the cloud feature, which you hit that and it supposedly syncs with your record box and just pulls all the information from your record box across to the CDJ-3000. I'm not even going to touch that feature. I do not see any point in it because I'm a real DJ who goes and DJs at real events, and I am never, ever going to turn up to a DJ gig with nothing and go, yeah, it doesn't matter. As soon as I turn up, I'm just going to log into my iCloud. If you're going to do that, you are crazy. The technology is simply not there. And maybe it will be there someday, and then I'll care about it. But I could not care less about syncing my cloud to the DJ decks. Why? I'm interested in the features I'm actually going to use, okay? And so I'm not going to use it. Yeah, it's cool. And yeah, maybe it makes things a little bit quicker, but I'm never going to use it. I'm going to turn it to a club with all my songs ready to go on a USB, and I'm going to have 3 USB backups, like every other sane DJ out there, right? So not interested in it. And so there we go. There is the conclusion of this. There's really not many other features that I'm blown away with. And the features that are there are just not impressive. Like hot cues. I was using them 10 years ago on the first set of DJ decks I've ever used, like gated hot cues. I'm not blown away by that. I'm really not. The reordering thing, wish it worked better. It works terribly, and it just makes me feel like honestly, I've wondered whether this deck is just straight up glitchy. Now, perhaps what will happen is Alpha Theta will reach out to me and go like, you need to update the software, like just update the DJ deck. And I'm like, okay, but if I can just update that DJ deck for it to do the things I want it to do, why can't I update this DJ deck to do the same things I want it to do? You know, like, oh, I'll update it and then I'll be able to reorder it properly. Like, so why can't I just do that on this one or add gated hotkeys onto this one? Anyway, I really hope I haven't come across as a moaning Myrtle. I think I'm allowed to moan. You know, they didn't send me this for free. There's £3,000 of my own hard-earned cash put into this, and it's underwhelming, you know? I'm glad I've got it. I think it looks nice. I'm underwhelmed with it. Anyway, that's my thoughts. Let me know your opinions below. I'd love to know if you've got it or if you've ever tried it, what your thoughts on it are. That's that. That's it. I'm going to wrap up the video there. As per usual, if you guys want to work with me personally to produce your own professional dance music, go and apply to work with me here. I work with DJs across the world on a 6-month basis to teach them how to make professional dance music that they can release and begin to grow a fan base off their own music. Because as we all know, and if you don't know this, you should know it, the top DJs in the planet are there because they produce their own music, not because they're fantastic DJs. And so if you can learn how to produce your own remixes, mashups, and originals, you've got a much higher chance of playing the biggest festivals, bumping up your pay grade when it comes to DJing, getting into clubs easier. It's the #1 thing you could do as a DJ. So if you're interested, go and click that. See you in the next vid. Ciao.